The three best coaches through the first third of the season have been, I know you want to guess. I'm not going to go ahead and give them to you. You know, one of them, because I just said it's a good team.
If it leads in nicely, D'Amico's one of them, right?
He's one of them. All right. Do you have the other two? These are the three best coaching jobs through the first 6 weeks of the season. I had to leave two guys off that were very hard because I was like, should I do five? No, Sheil, you can't name five. Like, we don't have that much time. So I stuck to three.
I feel like Mike McDaniel's got to be on the list.
He's got to be on the list. Absolutely.
Yeah, okay. So 2 for 2. My heart, I'm not going to look at your expression. My heart says Dan Campbell. I'm scrolling through the teams right now just to make sure. It's not going to be Harbaugh. They've lost some dumb games. Yeah, Dan Campbell for 3.
All right. But again,
baby!
This is getting scary. I'm becoming way too predictable and we're talking to each other too much. All right. Those are the 3. The 2 I left off are the 2 guys who get enough pop, and that's Sean McVay and Kyle Shanahan, who I think have both done fantastic jobs through the first 6 weeks of the season. But let me tell you why I settled on these 3. Mike McDaniel, it's pretty easy, right? Look at this offense. I mean, my question coming into the season, what's his plan B? Does he have a plan B? Is this going to be like a Chip Kelly type situation? All they've done through 6 games is have the most efficient offense through 6 weeks of the season in the last 10 years. That's based on success rate, also based on the fact that they're averaging over 37 points per game through the first 6 weeks of the season. They got down 14-0 on Sunday. I feel like I did this whole spiel last week when they turned the ball over 3 times against the Giants. Well, guess what? Then against the Panthers, they get down 14-0, and you could not find anyone who would have thought they're going to lose that game. All they do, they come back, they score 35 in a row. I mean, it's incredible what Mike McDaniel is doing with that team. I am all on board. I mean, I think if I had to pick like a sleeper Super Bowl team, that would be my sleeper Super Bowl team right now. I don't even know if they're a sleeper anymore. We'll see. I haven't looked at the odds recently, but yeah, he absolutely has to be on there. By the way, another guy, for all these coaches who will be making excuses, I don't like excuse maker coaches, Benjamin.
Nope.
Mike McDaniel's had some injuries. Teron Armstead has played in 2 games. They don't have a great offensive line. Jalen Waddle missed a game in there. Jalen Ramsey has not played. Guess what? They're one of the best teams in the NFL.
Out as well now, yeah.
Devon Achane. There you go. Another one. All right, so that's one. Dan Campbell. I had to put Dan Campbell on here. I mean, this team is 5-1. You go back to last year, this Lions team, they are 13-3 in their last 16 games. Talent-wise, I actually look at it and I'm not like, it's kind of like what you were saying last week. I'm not like, this team's loaded. Like, they should be 5-1. They should be 13-3. I'm like, they have a lot of good players that I like, but it's not like they're getting more, I think, out of the whole than the individuals there for Dan Campbell. They're top 10 in offensive and defensive success rate. They have a better point differential than the Eagles and the Cowboys in the NFC. Their only loss was in overtime to the Seahawks. They beat the Chiefs on the road. Like, they've done so many good things this season. And part of it, by the way, is of a head coach is you got to assemble a good staff. And we talk about Ben Johnson a lot.
Staff.
Well, guess what? He's Dan Campbell's offensive coordinator. He stayed last offseason. Like, that's meaningful too. They play hard. What we talked about with the Chargers, the Lions are the opposite of that. They have an identity. I know what I'm getting when I watch a Lions game, win or lose, how they're going to play. That Craig Reynolds block that I'm sure a lot of people have seen from Sunday. I mean, that just is like, okay, yeah, that's a Lions team right there. Which, I mean, when's the last time we were like, this Lions team has an identity, and it wasn't making fun of them like Matt Patricia? I mean, it's been a while. They execute well. They've dealt with injuries. Also, they don't make excuses. Dan Campbell belongs on there. And then D'Amico Ryans, I mean, you just pretty much made the case. I mean, they've already matched their win total from last year, and we're recording this. It just flipped over to October 17th. And again, assembling a coaching staff, hardest part for a new coach. I like what they got there with the OC. It's not perfect, but they're doing more with less. They're helping to develop CJ Stroud, 3-3 with a plus 22 point differential. They've just looked like a very good team. I'm not all in with the playoff take. I like it. Their defense still, to me, I just think the guy, talent-wise, personnel-wise, I think they have some shortcomings there that you saw a little bit last week against the Saints. But those are my 3. Who did do you disagree with any of those? And did I leave anyone off who you say, you should have maybe put this guy on?
If I predicted all 3, then I got to agree, right? This is
you're going in my head with the prediction. Your head could be different.
Well, the problem is we have the same head, Sheil. I got bad news for you. Right now, if you look at Coach of the Year odds, Dan Campbell leads at plus 270. Mike McDaniel close second at plus 300. Third, D'Amico Ryans at plus 1,000. Man, I mean, it's those are the three guys.
Really?
At the top.
I didn't look at those when I made this list, I swear.
Kyle Shanahan is plus 1,200, so he's a close fourth. Fifth is Robert Saleh, plus 1,700. Sure. Robert Saleh, by the way, talking cash money after being the Eagles. Talking a lot of cash money after being the Eagles. We embarrassed top quarterbacks. Dak Prescott completed 80% of his passes against them. Whatever. Those three are the appropriate
when you're
three.
asking the kicker if you should go for it or not, and then just taking delay
cash.
I know that's just a small thing. But anyway.
Campbell, the Lions have now won 4 consecutive games. They've won all of them by double digits. It's the first time it's happened since I'm pretty sure the 60s that the Lions have won 4 consecutive games by double digits.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, like and they have won the games of a different character, right? Their defense has won some for them. Their offense has won some for them. They have different players have stepped up. You brought up Ben Johnson on the staff. Aaron Glenn, man, this defense is playing, and the best player on this defense is Aiden Hutchinson. I think that Hutch has taken a nice leap in year 2. The second best player on this defense, Cam Sutton. I mean, like how many?
My mind went to Brian Branch, which he might not be yet, but
Aleem McNeil, right? But either way, like we're talking about a rookie second round nickel, a corner who's available in free agency, or a rookie contract defensive tackle who's improved year over year. Like, talk about a coaching job by that staff who's have a lot of players playing now at the best level of their careers. Alex Anzalone, Derek Barnes, the previously mentioned McNeil, Charles Harris, first round pick, cast off by multiple teams, found a home there. Like they are, they're doing good work on both sides of the ball. If I had a genie and 3 wishes over the next month of the NFL season, first wish out of my mouth is that those Lions get a star. Absolutely. Get a Devontae Adams, get a Patrick Surtain, get a Brian Burns, go get me somebody. I want to believe in this team so much to get the Ravens in week 7. Gosh, I want them to beat the Ravens. I want them to beat the Ravens by 20. So I can just sit here and say, I have loved this rebuild since year 1. I believed in the staff since year. I've loved the way the Lions did this. This is the exact blueprint of how a rebuild should work. But I need them to get over that hump and really have some star talent to them. They wanted Jameson Williams to be that. Don't know if they're going to get that from Jameson Williams. They wanted Jahmyr Gibbs to be that. Don't know if you're going to get that from Jahmyr Gibbs. I think they still need to add a star. So yeah, the Lions in particular, such a good job. They have to come over the crest here. They really, really do it with how they manage personnel or how they bring along those young players over the rest of the season.
Other 2, Shanahan, it's self-explanatory. Just real quick on McVay. I think we talked about him recently. I mean, I thought they were going to stink this year. I didn't think that offense had a chance. Old quarterback. Bad offensive line, 1 wide receiver who I knew about, and then he was out for the first month of the season. And guess what? That's been a top 5 offense by any metric you looked at. They've really kind of resurrected that thing this last week against the Cardinals. They come out slow in the first half, then they come out in the third quarter, run the ball 8 straight times and just kind of get Kyren Williams going. And then Stafford makes some unbelievable throws. So they're only 3-3, but I think that's a little misleading. I think that's been a very good team so far this season, and I've been impressed with the job McVay has done. All right.